Hi, I hope you are having a great time. No? Why? Worried about IELTS? Oh, I understand. Yes, this is certainly a point to worry because you are spending your time, you are dedicating your efforts, you're allocating your resources towards getting good grades or good marks or good bands in IELTS. But your practice results, your mock test results, they are not in line of your expectations. So you don't need to worry. You just need to think how you have planned or you had planned for your IELTS. Or if you are planning to start preparation, just focus on these points. The reason why I'm shooting this video before delving into details of each IELTS exam is that I want you to understand that when you are preparing for IELTS, work on the skills that requires or skills which will be evaluated during your exam. Yes, I'm talking about listening, reading, writing, and speaking. If you have understanding of listening, I don't have any doubt you may not be able to good score in your IELTS exam. If speaking is something you're familiar with, I certainly doubt you're not getting your desired bands there. You must be thinking, all know how to listen. Rather, it's a very involuntary kind of a process. As soon as someone starts saying something, we start listening. No, you may start hearing, not listening. So you need to focus on what one is saying. You need to speak. You need to find out coherence between how your mind is processing words and how your tongue is uttering them. If this sync is not there, you will fumble in your IELTS. You need to catch the right speed, a speed on which you are confident, your examiner is enjoying, and you are appearing fluent. You need to understand writing. It's not speaking, it's writing. So you can't write it in a way you speak. So understand how you can improve on your writing. What common mistakes people make while they're writing. Last but not the least is reading. Oh, I can read. Yes, but be honest. How much are you understanding? This is what your examiner or this test is gauging you on. So before learning about how many questions I will have in reading exam, how many questions I will have in my listening exam, what are the tasks involved in writing, how speaking test is conducted, it's important to understand these skills and do some practice before starting your IELTS practice or mock exams. In this video, I will try to cover a plan in which you can focus on these four skills. So when you will prepare yourself for IELTS, you should not face any problem. You are all set to go, rather to fly. Now, let's start with listening. One of the very important elements of communication and learning is listening. If you are a good listener, trust me, you automatically will be a good speaker. Why I'm saying this? Just look around or maybe go few years back in your life when you were a child, probably a newborn, don't even know how to say a word. But As the time passed, you started talking. Who was the teacher? No one. Which tuition center or coaching center you were going to? Zilch, none. Then how did you start speaking? Because you listen your family members. You listen to the people around you and you adopted those words, right? So if you want to improve on your listening, the best technique is to listen. And when I'm saying listen, yes, go and watch. It's an English exam, so try to listen things in English. Listen to songs or podcasts. But please listen, don't watch. What some people do, that when I ask them to start listening, they start watching English movies. Yes, it's good. It helps you to create vocabulary. It helps you to get pronunciation of the words. It helps you to understand. But the problem is your mind is not processing. Listening alone. Pictures are supporting enough to transmit message to your mind. So in order to improve your listening, it's really important that you should listen only. Normally, if you are not someone who is into podcasts, play any English video you like to and just flip your phone. Don't look at the screen. Try to listen and try to write whatever you are listening. And you will see if maybe in first couple of days or 3-4 days you are unable to get words, but trust me, after 4-5 days you will not only start understanding the words, but you will be able to say them in a much better way than you were saying them before. So yeah, number one thing, when you're planning to start your IELTS, start practicing listening. The easiest way is play any podcast, put earphones, and start writing down whatever you are listening. It will help you to concentrate on listening at the same time to write down so that you can improve. Number two, when your listening is getting improved, you will automatically observe that your speaking is getting better day by day. Why? Because your mind now has a storage of words, vocabulary. Now you can speak. You know how to say table in 2, 3, 4 different ways. So, yes, number one, listening. Number two is speaking. And to practice speaking, stand in front of a mirror. Have an eye contact with your own self. Yeah, don't shy, it's you. So no one is saying or passing any comments. And try to speak on any random thing for at least 3 minutes. It can be your hairbrush, it can be your toothbrush, it can be your slides or slipper, it can be your laptop. Just speak about anything in random. For 3-4 minutes, not more than that. And you will see the difference. You're listening, now you're speaking, and you will see the coherence and the improvement in these two areas. And trust me, I'm not giving you a plan of months, I'm talking about few days only. Just do these two simple exercises minimum 10 to 15 minutes daily, and you will see the results. I am sure about it. The way listening and speaking are proportional to each other goes with reading and writing. Reading actually helps you to understand how you need to write or what is the dynamic way of writing. Some people, they may write, not may, yeah, they do write without any grammatical error, without any grammatical mistake, but yet their writing is not appealing. It's very stagnant, bored. How to get rid of it? Important is to read, and read, so you can grasp how other people are writing. What is that way which is taking your attention? And certainly, when you are reading, you are dealing with new words every time. Your vocabulary is increasing again. Ding dong, right? This is what we need for our IELTS exam. A good vocabulary, a good understanding, right? So now imagine if 20 minutes or 15 minutes you are doing listening, followed by speaking, then reading. Imagine how greatly you are enriching yourself with vocabulary, accents, and confidence. Now is the writing part. Yes, it can be tricky, but try to write whatever you're doing on a daily basis. Yeah. I know writing down diaries is an old concept now. Nobody does it. Or maybe very few. Yeah, there are people, but yes, few. Or some people are, writing down it on their tablets, mobile phone, or maybe on laptops. But you need to sit for IELTS, right? Yeah. So write on a paper using a pencil. See if you can read your own handwriting. See how fast you can write. Sentences you're writing, are they making any sense? Yeah, I know you're not a grammar teacher who can evaluate you yourself, but you still have understanding of the language. While looking at a line, you can determine whether you wrote it right or wrong. Otherwise, have a good friend who can speak English and then talk to them. Please, can you check or evaluate me on this assignments? For increment of vocabulary and to write in a dynamic way, I normally prefer people to read fashion magazines or sports news because the two fields are really dynamic and the, the newscaster or the reporter working in these two areas, they want viewers' attention, readers' attention. So these reporters will go any way to write as dynamic, as appealing as possible to grab readers' attention. Imagine if your IELTS essay is on the similar lines, how greatly you will score. So now, just to end my video, give 20 minutes to yourself. I'm just talking about 20 minutes. First 5 minutes, try to listen to something, and while listening, write it down so you can increase your focus and you can familiarize your ears with the different accents and the different style of deliveries. Whatever you have written, try to speak about it standing in front of a mirror. You don't like to speak about what you have written? Don't speak about it. Take any random thing and start talking about it. Start speaking about it. Start discussing it while having an eye contact with your own self and see the results. Read, and read. Make it a habit that I will learn at least one vocab word and try to learn synonyms first of those words which you are using on a daily basis. Yeah, I don't need to remind you, there are dictionaries and thesauruses. Please consult them. They are for your advantage, right? Otherwise, go to at least Microsoft Word, write a word, right click it, and see the different synonyms falling down for you. Last but not the least, try to write whatever you listen to and whatever you have read about. Why I'm saying try to write something about what you listen or what you have read, what you read, because this is going to give you an understanding. Are you really comprehending listening and reading? Is it that you're really getting the essence of the two, or it's just for the sake of listening you're listening and for the sake of reading you're reading? So just dedicate 20 minutes, which makes 1 week daily, to work on these four skills, and I can assure you of very, very good grades or bands in your IELTS exam. If my video is useful enough for you, try to share it with others so they can also be benefited. And yes, I certainly request you to like and subscribe my video so I can expand and my message can reach to more audience. Thank you.